What's up, everyone? Super excited for you to hear this episode. When we were recording, Toronto had haggard weather, so about halfway through, you'll hear Liam and Jackie drop off and then come back. Now let's get weird. Aloha, everyone. It's Lady, your friendly neighborhood Hesher, and welcome to the Hesh Files, a place where I interview musicians about all of the strange and unusual things that they see out on the road. So strap on your best high tops, ease the seat back, and get ready to be a metaphorical fly on the wall because we're going heshing. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Hesh Files. I'm your host, Slavey, and today I've got not just one, but I've got two guests with me today. I've got coming all the way from Toronto, Canada, I've got one of the gnarliest frontmen in the game, Mr. Liam, and we've got one of the gnarliest guitarists in the game, Jack. Welcome to the Hesh Files, my dudes.
Yeah, we're on the Hesh Files. You can ask us questions about coffee or guitar pedal.
Coffee and guitar pedals. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves for people that might not know who Cancer Bats are.
My name's Liam. I sing in Cancer Bats. Cancer Bats has been around for 20 years in Canada. Well, I guess all over the world. Started off as like a hardcore band, just, doing our thing, looking to go on tour. And then turns out we have a career for 20 years.
Yeah.
Putting out records, having fun. And then original guitar player Scott Middleton, he chose the Papa life.
Oh wow,
recording.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's like a recording guy. So he got into recording bands and doing that kind of stuff. And over the pandemic, I think home life took hold of him. So when we recruited young Jackson, Landry, Road Dog, Hungry Shredder.
Hell yeah.
And we had met him. He plays in a kick-ass band called Diner Drugs.
Okay.
We're from the East Coast of Canada. So we had toured with Diner Drugs, and we were like, yo, we should ask Jack. We need to get a kid who doesn't want to work construction. He wants to go on tour.
Yeah, that sounds a fair bit more fun.
We need someone trying to quit their job.
We need a fellow
Need a fellow what?
Dirtbag.
Well, the fellow dirtbag. What are your, you mentioned coffee. What are your coffee orders? What are you guys drinking for coffee?
I'm personally a pretty strict iced Americano splash of oat.
Okay.
Oat milk.
Okay.
But
he loves a splash of oat.
Yeah, a splash of oat.
The rest of the band is a strict hot black coffee.
Okay.
But we like Jack, so we let it slide.
Yeah, as long as
we can't have a youthful guitar player accepting youthful things like iced coffee.
When you say youthful, how much more youthful is he than the rest of the guys?
So I'm 45.
Okay.
The other guys are 44 and 43. Jack is about to turn 29.
I'm about to turn 29. It's my birthday in a few weeks.
Damn, happy birthday, dude. You have a long road life ahead of you.
It's coming.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, if, Cancer Bats have been going all over the world for the last 20 plus years, I mean, can only imagine what the next 20 years are going to hold for the Bats.
Yeah, who knows with the Bats, but definitely for Jack. I feel like Jack's international career is just blossoming.
Hell yeah.
Year 2.
We can't wait to see what the future holds for Jackson. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are definitely still going to be
touring, grinding, headbanging, drinking coffee,
black coffee and headbanging for the rest of your life. How do you feel about that, Jackson?
Yeah.
Sign me up. Sounds good. It's the life I live.
I also forced Jackson to skateboard with tour.
Well, I mean, you can't go on tour without a skateboard. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's one of the unwritten rules of the road. You have to.
It's in the fine print, but you'd be surprised how many people don't uphold that rule of law.
I think that I had skateboarding on my resume to get this job for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, let's get into that He Is Legend run. How was the rest of that tour? Because I just saw you guys at the Whiskey here in LA about a month ago. How did the rest of that tour end up?
The rest of the tour was sick. I mean, that whole run was awesome. We'd been friends with the He Is Legend guys for 20 years.
Damn.
We were a young band from Toronto, and we all played a show together, and we were like instant homies.
Hell
We're
yeah.
like, oh, you guys are funny. And we all like, so yeah, we just hit it off right away with those dudes. And then, yeah, we'd been talking about touring forever. So to finally like do it on the 20 year for I Am Hollywood is actually kind of rad.
Yeah.
But that Whiskey show was amazing. And the tour just kept kicking ass like that the rest of the way.
Fuck yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad it ended up going, continuing kick ass. I mean, I wanted to get into the whole, you guys got fucking robbed on that tour.
We did.
What was that, like 4 days into tour, you guys got robbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, show 4. Yeah, we got very robbed.
What exactly happened with that?
I mean, we luckily learned a few tricks in the 20 years of road dogging. So we applied all of those to continuing on, not missing any of the shows.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's incredible. I mean,
but more so that we have like such good friends that we were able to do it. Like so many people kind of like coming together to help us and like offer to give us gear. We had that like crazy GoFundMe that like blew our minds.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean? To get that kind of support and everything from the community. Not to mention like our friends like Sean and Josie who work at Sweetwater. Those guys like hit us up instantly and were like, dude, we'll loan you a back line.
Wow.
Sean like loaned us stuff from the studio.
Damn.
At Sweetwater. Yeah, it was amazing. So that kind of stuff, like the guys at Happy Belly, our merch company really helped out. So everyone just kind of like being like all hands on deck for us.
Yeah.
Is also, part of why we were able to keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool seeing that kind of unfold on Instagram over those couple of weeks, like just the outpouring of support that I saw you guys getting from every corner of the scene was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like one of those moments of just like, yeah, being super stoked to be in the community that we are. Because I don't know outside of hardcore like and punk rock, like that kind of, like people all pitching in to immediately like help out,
Right.
Because I think so many people come from like DIY and know what it's like to like, I mean, touring robbed, like that's like part of the reality of it. Like someone smash your window and steal some stuff, but to get like everything stolen is just like such a crusher.
Oh yeah.
That I think like so many people, whether they've had it happen to themselves, they like know what kind of nightmare it is. So many people have like been through it themselves, and just kind of saying that like, like being on tour, like break-ins happen, you have gear get stolen, you have stuff like kind of like here and there, you know what I mean? Like, we were on tour 2 summers ago, and like partway through the tour, we had like the back window of the van smashed, and like
just steal some shoes and some skateboards and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like that's more the reality of tour.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, like a thing gets broken, and then you got to replace the window.
Right.
We had like a cardboard window for the rest of the tour, but like that's like to the extent. So I think when something crazy happens, that's where like everyone else like kind of like understands how brutal it is, and like everybody kind of pitches in.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I wasn't on tour when it happened, but years ago, one of my practice spots got robbed. I was driving home from somewhere in the morning, and my buddy sends me a text, and he's like, yo, the place was broken into and everything was stolen. And I was like, man, like that definitely sucks. And then I was still driving, and then it dawned on me that all of my stuff was still there too, and everything was gone. Ultimately, though, I did find I was able to get my bass back. Somebody had posted it on Craigslist like an idiot, and yeah, I definitely stole it back.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
Like I think like in, I don't know, maybe this world, like we practice in sketchy places, so like everyone has like a story like that, like
yeah,
or you get again, yeah, it's like your gear gets like stolen and then you see it, at a show. It feels a
Ugh.
little less like this was definitely like pros. So there's certain cities that are like kind of known for this stuff. Like in Canada, like Montreal is like really, really bad.
Okay.
So guys know what like a van and trailer full of gear looks like. So they'll like follow you to the hotel and like wait,
Damn.
go to sleep and
Yeah.
then just like steal all your stuff. So that's what this kind of felt like
Mhm.
because they like stole the catalytic converters from our van and they like,
God damn it.
yeah, they like stole everything.
Right.
So yeah, that's where it feels like a little outside of the norm. And again, I think where so many people were like, holy shit,
Right. Yeah, like in a fashion too, where it was like this was not the first time someone had done this.
The cops told us that 2 other trailers, so like 3 trailers, like had gotten stolen that night.
Damn.
The other ones were like work pickup trucks, but like exact same thing, like smash the window, like jack the ignition, steal the whole rig.
Yeah, that's a professional job. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, so they're like cruising around, like, and that's what makes me like sadly not have as much hope for finding the gear.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, you guys are like really good at this.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you're hoping for the like goofy idiot who will put it up on Craigslist.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, something like that, I mean, with you guys, it definitely doesn't seem like that's really gonna happen.
Yeah. But who knows? Everybody's keeping an eye out.
Right.
And like, that's the other side that's cool.
Well,
Was
just
like-
for the podcast here real quick. So just so everybody knows that's listening, that was in Indianapolis at the beginning of April?
Middle of April.
Middle of April in Indianapolis. So anybody out there in Indianapolis, keep an eye out for Cancer Bats gear.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
So actually, I did want to ask you something, Jackson. I can't imagine that you were part of this tour because it was many years ago, but I was looking at, some of your stuff and I saw that you guys had toured with Guar while David Brocky was still alive.
Oh yeah, that was in 2012. Jack,
Yes.
how old were you in 2012?
I would have been in grade 10. So
Jack wasn't on that tour.
No, I was in.
But you know what's cool? Actually, full circle. When I saw Guar for the first time, I was in grade 10
Nice.
in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that's fucking rad.
But yeah, touring with Brocky was the best.
Yeah,
That
you
tour
gotta
was-
tell us about that. That sounds fucking rad.
Yeah, it was Guar, Devil Driver, and us. And we had toured with Devil Driver already like a bunch. So they
Okay.
helped us get on that tour.
Shout out to Devil Driver.
Yeah, shout out to Dez getting us on the Guar tour. And yeah, it was the best. Like we ended up becoming really, really good friends with the whole Guar camp. Dave Brocky's like from Canada.
Okay.
So he was like really, really stoked, like day one, to like be on tour with Canadians.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, where's the Canadians? Yeah, we just like really hit it off, like band and crew. Like,
Fuck yeah.
I feel like they're a little bit older than us, but we're also like, like I said, like we were around in the 90s when Guar was around. So
Yeah.
we're kind of that same, era.
hmm
Yeah, they're definitely like good homies now. We toured with Guar also. Jack was with us when we toured with Guar last year.
Okay. Okay.
True.
And he'll be with us when we tour with Guar next, too.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is, but there's no way Cancer Bats and Guar won't tour again together.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, I would die to see that. That would be incredible. I mean, I've seen Guar and I've obviously seen you guys, but never together.
That's one thing that I like about like a band like Guar. Like you see the bands that they tour with and then they like tour with those bands like again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's like Guar Toxic Holocaust. Like that tour has happened like a bunch of times. And it's like, I've never seen it. I still want that like combination, to happen.
Yeah. That would be rad.
Hopefully Cancer Bats, Toxic Holocaust, Guar.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty crazy tour.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Let's put that out into the universe right now and get that going for 2026.
Everyone manifest it.
Everyone. Tell your mom to manifest it too.
Yeah.
Light a candle. Think about Cancer Bats, Toxic Holocaust, Guar.
draw a pentagram on the floor and, do the whole thing.
Yeah, full.
Pray to the Guar shrine you have in your room.
Big 6 week US.
Yeah.
I've actually still got one of my vests that I have still has guar blood all over it. Anything that was
Oh.
white on that is stained like pinkish red now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So even just touring with them, you end up with like guar blood on like all your gear, just age and just like being peripherally around it. So
Mhm.
yeah, like shoes that still have guar blood, like our banner still has guar blood on it.
Yeah. Did one on Instagram a while ago, like of one of my guitars like covered in blood.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was, night was crazy. And everyone's like, what is going on? But it's guar juice.
There's just
Yeah.
guar.
I feel like we got to start like some sort of like museum like or something for anybody that's toured with guar. Send in a piece of something that has guar blood on it, and we'll just make a whole museum of guar juice covered shit.
Yeah, they should have a section at the guar bar.
Yeah. That would be good.
Yeah.
Have some good because there is like crazy fans that have like they've worn the same shirt for like something like 200 shows.
That's insane.
Have some of that stuff like framed.
Just so tie-dyed with whatever color they're
Guar juice.
Yeah, whatever color guar juice is going on.
I mean, I feel like it would have to be framed in like some sort of giant petri dish so nothing escapes from it.
Right.
Oh yeah, it needs to be like sealed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, one day, scientists, in the future are gonna uncover a gold mine of guar stuff, and something is just gonna crawl out of it like the Thing from John Carpenter's movie.
Yeah, like their warehouse in Richmond.
Oh yeah, there's definitely something growing in there for sure.
Yeah, the warehouse is sick. For anyone who's listening at home, if you ever get a chance to go to Richmond, Virginia, go to Guar Bar and then befriend Dirks when he's working with him if he'll take you to the Guar warehouse.
I'm bummed. My grandma lived in Richmond, Virginia forever. She's passed now, but out of all the times I went and visited her, she never took me to the Guar Bar.
Yeah.
Dang. She's out of the loop.
Grandma. Thought she was cooler than that.
I mean, no disrespect to your grandma.
No, she was a fiery one from New York. She would just fire them right back at you. So it's all good. She was a tough one.
But not tough enough to hang with Guar.
Yeah, clearly not tough enough to hang with Guar. So, you guys have played pretty much all over the fucking world, and I know Jackson is probably got to be super stoked for the future, but thinking of him and stuff, what is one festival that you've played or that you've been to that you think everyone should try to go to, whether, wherever it is, like what's just a banger of a festival you can't wait for Jackson to play that everyone should go to?
I don't know. I feel like Jack has been to some pretty crazy ones with us. Did you play Hellfest with us?
Hell no, I didn't.
Hellfest is a crazy festival that everyone should go to. That definitely rules. It's in the south of France.
Okay. I mean, I would love to go to France anyway, but I mean, if I could plan a trip around Hellfest, that seems like it would probably be the best thing to do.
Hellfest, like they own the piece of land where it like takes place. So they've built all these like crazy iron kind of like structures and like walls, and there's like flames that shoot out from like the side. Yeah, it's like actually insane.
I mean, that almost already just sounds like it's like a permanent like Rammstein structure.
Yeah, it kind of like it has that energy. And there's like definitely different stages. It's like such a well curated fest. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, damn, I'm actually just looking up the lineup for this year right now, and that's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, and they always crazy. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
They've got The Who playing. Not The Who as in like the rock band The Who, but the Mongolian throat singing metal band The Who playing this year.
Oh. Yeah.
That's fucking rad.
I thought you meant the British rockers.
No. I mean, they're,
that would be I think
that would be
awesome.
weird too.
That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would almost be just as crazy.
Mongolian metal band, that one makes sense. They're playing a bunch of festivals. The Who?
Yeah.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who
Yeah,
knows?
it's like HU.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those guys. I mean, no, not to downplay that band.
I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. But the
Oh yeah,
Who,
no.
I can name more hits from the Who
Then the Hugh.
than the Hugh. Again, no disrespect, just powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yo,
Well, shit,
Tommy, the rock and roll opera,
if they're listening, 2026, Cancer Bats, the Hugh.
the Hugh. We'll do that tour, but also the Who.
Yeah, they can also bang our line if they want.
Oh my god, like the Who's fans would have no idea what to do with you guys coming out on stage.
Oh, we would rock them.
You would
Yeah.
definitely rock them for sure, but I can see a lot of old ladies being like, "What the fuckles?"
I mean, that's the thing. Cancer Bats is like, for as heavy as we are, we're pretty palatable, I feel like there's like, we'll play some of those festivals and there'll be like moms and stuff. Sometimes we'll play some like kind of normie adjacent like things in Canada.
I just like that normie adjacent. That's a great
Yeah,
phrase.
you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're like the one heavy day at a festival, or we're the one heavy stage, or we're like kind of playing with more like radio-y heavy bands. And then we do our thing, and everyone's like, oh, that was really fun.
Actually, just hearing you explain that sounds a lot like, so this past weekend, my wife and I went to punk rock bowling, as we do every year, and day one, they had Power Trip playing,
Oh, okay.
which was rad. I mean, they were definitely, by far the heaviest band that played that weekend, and it was fucking rad. So, I mean, I get how you guys would end up at something like that too, being the heavier of the bands playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while we'll get like, that kind of thing. And we'll like also play the set where we're being a little bit more like crowd friendly.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be like, we're more like, even if we play it like the punk band, we're still the heaviest band on the bill.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's
you
not
guys you guys have such a discography of music that like you could literally tailor the set depending on what the crowd is.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's one of the most awesome things about Cancer Bats is that you guys do have such a variety of music at your disposal.
At our fingertips. Our arsenal. Yeah, I think we're just kind of all over the place when it comes to like writing and like what we want to put like on a record. The band's always been kind of like, just like, we're fans of music.
Yeah.
So we don't want to necessarily like just do one thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have
It's been insane.
that versatility. I mean, so unrelated actually, what was it like with the audition process or, like getting into Cancer Bats? I mean, what did that look like for you?
Dude, it was so mellow. I play in another band called Diner Drugs,
Yes.
and we had toured with Cancer Bats like once or twice. So we like were buddies from like previous tours.
Oh, okay.
And then so we were all like buddies from touring, and then Liam moved to Halifax actually. So I live in Moncton, New Brunswick, which is only like 2.5 hours away from Halifax.
Okay.
And Liam's straight edge, and around that time I was probably like a year sober. Like I had stopped drinking and just making bad choices. And so he was a good buddy in that sense, where he was like, oh, I'm in Halifax, like come to Halifax. Like he was like inviting me to do like sober stuff, and
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
knew that I was like not partying anymore. So then yeah, it was just like we had been hanging out a lot, and he was like, we kind of need a guy for summer. At first it was just like a couple tours, and he's like, would you be interested in just like playing guitar for these tours? And I was like, yeah, for sure, man. And I should say that like Cancer Bats is like record label, like Bat Skull Records.
Mm-hmm.
They were gonna put out the new Diner Drugs record like on that label.
Oh, okay.
So they knew me from touring, and they were gonna put out my other band's new record. So we were talking pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking rad.
Yeah, so I did a couple tours and then ended up just being the guy.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
into a couple more tours, eh?
Hey.
Couple more tours, yeah.
You know, that old classic chestnut, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's up?
Liam, welcome back.
What's up, dudes?
Yeah, we were just he was just giving me the skinny on how he got into the bats in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it.
Hell yeah.
That's it. He's not lying.
Yeah.
Well, so,
Yeah.
I want to ask then again about sober touring. I mean, I know a lot of people these days are, moving into, like, a lot of people in the scene are moving more into that sober space, and it's been really interesting to see how that's happening. So, I mean, like, do you guys notice that too? Like, do you guys notice other bands on tour are really starting to kind of mellow out on that stuff as well?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, especially like kind of any of the bands that are in the like long haul.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like any of those like 10, 15, 20 plus touring bands. It's like there's always like that, oh, okay, this guy like doesn't drink anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, oh, you know what? Like backstage there's gonna be no booze because this dude is like, kind of getting out of recovery and blah 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 blah. And that's also like
Okay.
Rats will now kind of like get tours because in a lot of ways we're like known for being like, oh, there's some sober guys in the band. They're also really chill. They're also like a little bit older, So for those like bands that are like touring in that kind of like, moment where like, oh, a couple of the OG guys like, are trying to not party or trying to be sober, trying to like not do drugs. It's like, oh yeah, Cancer Bats is a band that like won't be just like crushing beers around everyone.
Yeah, because
like not
that gets
doing
hard.
anything. Yeah,
or it's more just like it's like for booking agents and management, they're just like, oh, this band's known as like a party band. Like, okay, cool, they're not on the like list. It's sort of like,
okay.
Yeah, it's like sort of like it's funny, like the rock and roll, like kind of like, oh yeah, these guys are like crazy partiers. It's like when you're younger, that's like a thing, and then get older, it's like, oh, those bands are almost like not on people's lists for like a reason.
Yeah, that makes sense because I could see how at a certain point in time, like that almost just becomes such a liability for everybody else involved.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, I think for a lot of like bands that have been touring for like a really, really long time, they're just like kind of over it.
Yeah.
So I feel like we'll do tours and they'll be like, oh man, it's so sick that you guys like just want to talk about normal shit and not just like shotgunning beers and being like nuts.
Yeah, because I mean that does get tiring night after night after night, just mentally, emotionally, physically. It's taxing.
And I can't even imagine if you were like, you've been touring this hard since the 90s, you know what I mean? And it's like new, the band opening are just like, wow, we can't believe we're on tour. And you're like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah, I could totally see how being like you guys, having been on the road for so long, like if living the sober lifestyle, I mean, if you were sent out on the road with a group of guys that are just, like Motley Crue style party animals, I could almost see how that would just be annoying as fuck at a certain point of the day.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like mellow, but we just like wouldn't gel with that.
Yeah.
Crew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like, hey, do you guys want to go to the beach on the day off? Like,
yeah, because they're all just like super hungover.
Partying. Yeah.
And I mean, it's funny too, though, because we definitely have toured before. I think it also just depends on the type of partying. Because, like,
right.
If it's just like everyone's hanging and drinking beers and like listening to metal in the, back parking lot behind the venue. Like we've definitely like toured with like Bullet for My Valentine. And those guys like to like, drink beers and hang out and have fun.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty mellow rage.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, they're all like doing shots of Jägermeister, but we're really just like listening to Judas Priest and like
hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out.
Well, real quick, speaking of Judas Priest, did you guys see that Tom Morello is doing a Judas Priest documentary?
Oh, no.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Apparently that's coming out soon or something. I saw that the other day. It popped up on, my Google or whatever. And yeah, apparently Tom Morello is just a huge, huge Judas Priest fan. And he's like executive producing this documentary about them.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'll be.
Yeah. Weird little sidebar information there.
Yeah, I'd watch a Grease documentary.
Yeah, I'd watch it for sure. So back to the sober thing, actually. What do you guys do then when you have all that free time from not drinking? Because I mean, we all know that, if you don't spend your whole day drinking, all of a sudden you have a shit more amount of hours in the day. So I mean, like, what are those days off on tour like for you guys?
I mean, that's a big thing. Like Jack and I, and especially like when we're out with our sound person Mara, like we all really like to go skateboarding.
Hell yeah.
So that's like a big one for us is like, oh, like we have a day off. Is there like a cool skate park we could go and check out and like, yeah, meet up with some friends who also skate, like go to a cool space. I would say like even on those days, like Jay and Mikey, they're like not skating, but they're down to like, even hang at the park because it's a nice chill place. Like we're drinking coffee, we're like doing our thing.
That's rad.
Although Mike started skating again with his kids.
Hell yeah.
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 Hell
So
yeah.
I'm curious if he'll bring a board.
We should convince him to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Bat Skull Records put out some boards? I'm sure there's a market for
Whoa.
Records do a lot of things.
it.
Probably because I'm currently painting my baseboards.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that probably takes up a fair amount of time.
Yeah.
Well, so back to the skating. Being all over the world, then what are some of your favorite places to skate around the world? Like, what are some cities that are just really awesome, or have some like shout out a couple of skate parks or something?
I mean, we had a really fun time when Jack first joined the band. I had already planned a trip to Barcelona.
Wow.
And then we got offered Download Festival.
Fuck yeah.
UK. So we kind of just we did Download Fest, and then I went to Mikey flew home to like be with his kids for another week, and then I kind of just went to Jay and Jackson if they wanted to come and just hang out in Barcelona with me and like go skate. So we did that for, was it 3 days, 4 days? We like skated every park in Barcelona.
That's fucking awesome.
We were there for a little bit for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was definitely like a really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine skating around Barcelona. I mean, I've never been out there, but I've seen plenty of videos and pictures and stuff, and it's beautiful. I can't imagine skating around there for a few days.
We have a lot of friends there too. So our buddy Asdrew, who plays in this awesome punk band called The Strama, he like also was like asking all the homies like what are the best DIYs, and like he took us to like a whole bunch of like secret spots.
Hell yeah.
That like I don't know, we maybe wouldn't have found like otherwise, and now it's like, oh, we like actually know like where to go in Barcelona. So,
That's
like,
fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was the best. Like I was really stoked, and it was cool too because that was like Jack had played like maybe 6 shows.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I think we did like a handful of East Coast shows, and then flew out to play. Was there one show? It was Download, and then we went to Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really like early days of the band, but I like that too as like, kind of like introducing Jack to like the lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah. I remember like, because I had toured with like a few bands prior, but like definitely like going to Europe for the first time, playing Download, and then just like hanging out in Barcelona. I was like, dude, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah,
than
that's
this. Like,
that's the fucking life. So who else played Download that year?
That was like Metallica was the headliner of our day.
Fuck, that's pretty cool.
It was like us in the Bronx, so that was really cool too.
Hell yeah.
Because we're homies with those guys, so it was like fun to also be like, I forget who it was, like somebody wasn't able to play, so then we got like added on kind of last minute.
Okay.
So we played early, but it actually worked out like perfect. We had like a fucking awesome set.
How long of a set do you guys get at Download?
I think that one we played for like 40 minutes.
Oh fuck yeah, it's a good amount of time.
Yeah, in Europe they really like full sets for bands. I think they want to give fans like as much of like a full set kind of experience to give them like the bang for their buck.
Right.
Oh yeah, that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah. We're playing some fests in the US this summer, and the slots are like 30 minutes. And it's like, man, we haven't played a 30-minute set in like 10 years.
That's a short set.
So it feels it's kind of crazy, the difference. Like, whereas Europe, they're like, yeah, you got to play an hour.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny because on one of my last episodes, I was talking with Rick from This Is Hell, and he was talking a lot about the difference between set lengths in Europe versus the US. And it was just something like, I've never toured across the pond myself, at least not yet. And so I just never even really thought about that or knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, like in the US, like especially for a hardcore band, like I remember when Touche Amore first came over.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
just have their sets like 20 minutes long, because it's just like that's everything they have. Like they played their first 2 records and like that's it. And I remember being in London for that show and like kids were so thrown off because they were just like, okay, like that's just like the warm up, for
right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just getting into the groove.
That's it. That's the full headline Touche Amore.
Jeez.
So I think that side, like, so for American bands, like coming over to Europe, it's just like very kind of different.
Okay.
Because it's just, I don't know. Yeah. Hardcore is like when we do a headline show in the States, like we play 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's like when we play in Canada, we play like over an hour for sure.
Damn.
And they're like asking for an encore.
Right.
Damn. Okay. So I basically got to get up to Canada to see a proper Cancer Bat show.
Yeah. It's very, very, very different.
Sorry, my mind is just like being blown right now. I mean, like, just it's just kind of crazy how different touring can be in America versus everywhere else.
Yeah. America is kind of its own thing, really. Like its own kind of animal.
Yeah. I mean, without getting into too much of the, I don't know. I mean, just all the bullshit with ticket fees and venue things and shit. I mean, it's just kind of out of control.
Yeah, America's also crazy too because when you play in Europe as like a band, there's usually like the hospitality side and them being like, hey, thanks so much for traveling all this way and like coming and, playing our venue. Like, here's a bunch of food and like, do you need a place to stay? There's like an apartment that the venue owns that like has bunk beds and everyone can sleep there.
Right.
And like, yeah, there's like all this stuff. It's like, oh, have you guys had lunch? Like, we're going to have this for lunch and then there's going to be dinner later. And they're like, that's so cool that you're here. And then you go to the States and they're like, there isn't a door on the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, and they're like, there's a bag of chips. You're like, okay.
It's a steel bag of chips, by the way.
Yeah. They're like, are you the promoter? You're like, what? No, I'm the electrician. Like, oh, okay. Okay.
But Europe is
that's
that. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, keep going.
I was just gonna say, like, Europe is like that with like every band. Like, it doesn't really matter like what level you're at. Because I toured Europe once with my band Diner Drugs, and like we're definitely like not pulling the same numbers like attendance wise. And even when we went up, it was like, have you guys ate? Like, where you guys are gonna sleep here? Like, it's just like that's just like how shows are run there.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, yeah, it sounds like touring in America might kind of suck sometimes.
I mean, sides to like the shows. I mean, the shows in America are also like really fun in that they're super wild and DIY. Like that.
Right.
Unless you're playing like a crazy squat, which kind of doesn't even really exist anymore in Europe for the most part.
Okay.
It's like when you're in the States, you like sometimes you play like in some fucking crazy setups and you're like, this is punk as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the thing where like the real like wild DIY style of like, I don't know, American hardcore and American punk, like it is that, I don't know, that like kind of like Wild West like style, which I think is really cool, that element. Because like some things are a little bit too, they're really organized and like you get money from the government, but you also, like then lose some of that when you're playing inside like a rusty dumpster, in rural Pennsylvania where they just like have shows. This is fucking crazy. And they're like, yeah, someone's going to throw a shopping cart like during your set. And you're like, oh, like that. I think like you also, replicate anywhere else in the world other than America.
yeah, I mean, America, especially on like the East Coast too. I mean, there's a lot of, I think one of the fun things about the East Coast, at least when I was touring, was, we weren't anything big. So, I mean, there were a lot of like basement shows and stuff. And
Oh yeah.
a basement show is great. I mean, it's just fucking gnarly.
Yeah, the thing that's crazy too when you think about like American hardcore is like for how hard people are going off, like no one has healthcare.
I was wondering if that was going to come up. Yeah, because there's no way we should be moshing this hard when we don't have shit for fucking healthcare.
Which I think in a way is like it's way more punk.
Yeah.
Because if you get a bottle rocket to the eye in Canada, you just go to the like hospital and they like fix you up. Like if that happens in America, like you just lose your eye.
Yeah, you're going to lose your eye. And then because of all the medical bills, you're going to lose your parents' house. You're going to lose, any income you have for the next 3 generations of your family.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just not going to be eye patch guy. And you're like, by default, America, way more punk.
Oh, that's great.
But we played that Comeback Kids show in I want to say Minneapolis, and there was a dude like me and you were at the merch table, Liam.
Yeah.
And that dude got so wrecked. We were like, he was like, had to like the venue was like, man, you have to leave. Like you're not gonna stop bleeding. Like you have to get out of here. Like,
yeah, there was like an unreal amount of blood. I haven't seen that much blood at a show in a really long time.
Yeah.
And we're talking real blood here, everybody, not guar blood.
Yeah, it was real.
Yeah, so much blood that like people were like getting it on their shoes and then like tracking it across like the venue.
Yeah,
damn,
dude.
We're like,
Yeah, that one.
Gigantic puddle of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, American keeping it real.
On the topic of American moshing, that was the first one that came to my mind.
So what's back to the moshing then? What's some of the gnarliest moshing you've seen at a Cancer Bat show? Like what stands out as just like the gnarliest thing that you guys have experienced on stage?
Our stuff is like we're a pretty tame kind of like for the core. Do you know what I mean? We have some breakdowns, but I feel like we're pretty mellow. Nothing gets too buck.
Okay.
I don't know. I think like Cancer Bats is like I love our band and I love like the kind of like community that we're in, but it's definitely not like a hard pit, and like in an awesome way. Like everybody's like kind of watching out for each other. Like,
yeah.
A lot of women feel like comfortable to be like, getting in the mix, like throwing down. So I'm like stoked for that.
Yeah, I mean, my wife was there with me at that show. She was getting down.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sick. Like everybody kind of is welcome.
Yeah, no one's going like super insane mode.
Yeah. And I feel like if they do, there's like usually people from the crowd who are like, hey man, chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're just trying to have a good time. We're not trying to bleed all over the fucking venue.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like kill someone. Kill someone. But it's funny though, because we do play with like, we'll in Europe and stuff, like playing some shows with like Hatebreed.
Fuck yeah.
And like everyone will like kind of stand there and like watch our set and be like stoked and like sing along to Sabotage, like that's kind of the thing. But then it's like Hatebreed's out and they like just like beat the shit out of you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I could imagine those Hatebreed shows getting a little bit fucking gnarly.
Yeah. Definitely more of a soundtrack to like destroy someone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
You could even say destroy everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing too crazy.
Well, that's good. Actually, Liam, I was told to ask you a certain thing by a certain someone.
Okay.
Again, so Rick from This Is Hell, he told me I had to ask you about a post-show night in Canada when you all went to a tattoo shop after hours and got bro tattoos.
Yeah, we all got This Is Hell Cancer Bats tattoos.
What's the tattoo? What's it look like?
There was 2 different versions. So the This Is Hell guys got like it was like a Cancer Bats. This would have been in 2006, 2007.
Damn. Okay.
But they got like the original like bat skull with the wings, and it was holding a diamond lantern.
Okay.
So a lantern with a diamond in it, because that was kind And then we all got diamond lanterns with bat wings. And it said, and then there was a banner on it that said, "Wreck Your Life."
Oh, that's rad.
That was like a This Is Hell thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a This Is Hell thing.
It was sort of like how, like, yeah, going on tour wrecks your life.
It's funny that you guys all got that 20 years ago when you guys were all first starting out too.
Yeah, so we met them on our very, very first tour. And they had played in Toronto, but they also, like, their van broke down. So we,
as that happens on tour.
Yeah, classic.
Yep.
So we, like, put them up with our friends and, like, kind of just, like, hung out every day. And then and they might have even ridden with us to play some of the shows.
Okay.
In Ontario. But yeah, so we did some early shows with them, and then from there we were like, like we toured upstate New York with them. We played actually a lot of crazy shows with them in like 05, 06.
Hell yeah.
And then we did a split 7-inch that our friend Will put out.
I forgot about that 7-inch.
Yeah, so we covered Diamond Lanterns, and they cover, I can't even remember. But yeah, that was our fucking our jam. And then we toured with them. I think the last ever tour we did with them was in 07. We did a crazy European tour that was Comeback Kid, Parkway Drive, Cancer Bats, This Is Hell, and the Warriors were on it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a wild, like, went everywhere in, like, the UK and in Europe. Yeah, and that was in 07. That was probably I think that was the last actual This Is Hell tour that we ever did together. And you know what's funny? Also, Oddly, who plays guitar in Incendiary,
yes,
he was doing merch on that tour.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, so that's like also a bit of lore.
So it sounds like then for 2026 we got to manifest the Guar Cancer Bats This Is Hell tour.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the one.
Holocaust. Yeah, Toxic Holocaust was on it.
Oh yeah, I was like, there was another band we were manifesting.
Yeah. Toxic Holocaust. That's right.
Yeah.
But we can also add This Is Hell on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a banger of a fucking lineup.
Actually, wait, no, I take that back. We toured with This Is Hell again in 08 because we did Gallows. It was
I remember that tour.
Yeah, and that was like a full North America like kind of banger that we did with those guys.
Yeah, because you guys came to the Parkside in San Francisco, and that was, because I was living in Northern California at the time, and yeah, the Parkside out there is just a great venue for hardcore. I mean, I guess I've only seen hardcore bands there, but yeah.
We just played the Parkside. I don't know if that was where that Gallows show was, though, because I think that was the first time we ever went to Parkside.
Really? Because I feel like it was at Parkside. I mean, I could be totally fucking wrong, but, it wouldn't be the first time.
I just think I would have remembered that one. And also that tour was like, it should have been in the Parkside, but for some reason it was in a lot of like venues that were way bigger.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they thought like, oh yeah, this band's like, Gallows has done the Warped Tour, so like naturally 500 kids will come. And that wasn't the reality.
Yeah, that's definitely not the reality.
We're still all hardcore bands, but that was probably the last tour that we did. And actually, interesting, more lore. I remember.
Yeah, give it to us.
The drummer of This Is Hell, Dan. That was when he told me he was gonna leave the band, and he was starting this new band from Long Island that was like really cool, kind of like Rage Against the Machine inspired hardcore. And he was like, I'm gonna just focus on that band because I think they're gonna do really good. And that band was Stray from the Path.
No shit.
Yeah, and I remember that we were like in Baton Rouge, and I was like, hell yeah, man, like do what you need to do,
Yeah.
This band sounds sick. We should play shows together. And then that band was
That's
great.
wild.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of fun thinking about like the interconnectedness.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I love about, doing this is really like you explained, finding out the lore from different people about different things, and it's just fucking cool.
Yeah, I also like how all those things, like when you think back on like, oh yeah, I met, these guys when they were doing this band, or you meet somebody that's doing merch, for a band, and then later on they like sing for a band, years later, and you end up you know, like touring together or being friends. Like that sort of stuff I always think is like really cool.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, yeah, there's just something different about, you know, when you're in that space of being on tour and meeting other people on tour, and that camaraderie that can really come out of that is just, you just don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah, there's definitely something, especially when the tour, it's like if the tour is really good, that like is crazy, but it's also like when the tour is really bad, it kind of like bonds you as well.
Okay.
Where you're like, oh, some of these shows are fucking super crazy. Like we're now kind of all in it together.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I like all aspects of it. I guess that's why I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, you're a fucking road dog.
Been road dogging.
Facts.
And then we got Jackson, who is a road dog from now until fucking forever.
Yeah. I just signed up.
You just got on this on this van.
On this life.
It is forever. Well, guys, what's up next on the musical horizon? I mean, I thought I heard some rumors about some new music maybe being in the works. It's been a while since Cancer Bats released a full length.
Yeah, we're working on a new record right now. Slowly but surely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's going good. It's definitely nice sometimes to like take a bit of time to like chill and do some other stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like live a bit of life.
Like painting your baseboards.
Yep.
For me, I feel like sometimes like you don't just want to write a record about being on tour.
Yeah.
Because like as cool as that is, it's like, well, not everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
So to like live a bit of life and like kind of have some broader things to like draw on is always good, I feel
like skating around Barcelona for a few days.
Yeah, like how
exactly
skating around Barcelona. We should just write a concept record about how dope Barcelona is. I think we actually joked about that while we were in Barcelona. We were saying how we should record a record there.
That'd be cool.
Just because we all love that city, so to kind of have it as an excuse, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a good excuse to go hang out there for a few weeks at a time and just write, record, skate, and drink coffee.
I'm surprised there aren't more studios there to capitalize.
Yeah, you feel like you think that would be a really good place to have some solid studios just for that.
Yeah, it feels like a good business plan.
So we should start a record label in Barcelona.
Yeah, you should. You're in LA. You should befriend like a millionaire.
I should. I got to get a sugar daddy is what I'm really working on.
Yeah. We're pulling our weight. We know all the bands. You gotta step up.
Yeah, I gotta get the sugar daddy, get all the finances sorted out, and then we're good.
Yeah, just hit us back up then.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so let us know when you come through.
Hopefully that won't take me very long.
Yeah, I feel like that's rich guys. They always just want to turn it into a cult.
Well, I hear starting a cult is probably a pretty lucrative idea.
See, that's the problem. That's where we can't. You got to do it just for the coffee and the skateboarding and the.
I mean, if Jared Leto has a cult, I'm pretty sure we could have a cult.
Or should we just join Jared Leto's cult?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Less work.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Yeah, we just got to join his and then just move our way up to the top.
I didn't even know Jared Leto had a cult though.
Yeah, he does. I don't know why I know that. Blame it on living in LA and just knowing weird shit, but yeah, he's got a cult.
Sounds very LA.
Yeah.
Everyone has a cult in LA.
Except me, I'm fucking up.
Yeah. Join Jared's.
I'm gonna look into that and I'll send you guys the application so you can get in there too.
You can invite podcasts, right?
This is true.
And then that'll be your segue.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you said you know all the bands, so I mean, you got Jared Leto's number?
I've met him through friends, like at Download Fest stuff before. He was playing.
Okay.
And he was always like really chill.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, just like meeting someone backstage, and it's like he was like friends with. It was probably in 2013, summer of 2013.
Okay.
I met him through my friend Ashley, and he knew Ashley from like working for a magazine. He was like, "Man, this guy's the best photographer." I was like, "Yeah." And then that was it. And he was just like, Yeah, we like chatted for a bit about playing and being on tour. He was like, "What band? Cancer Rats?" He was like, "Oh, sick." I was like, "What band are you in?" I can't even remember I forget what the name of his band is.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, and they were playing Download. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be waiting for you to get me his number then.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Maybe he'll listen to this interview.
I'll tag him in some of the posts, and we'll make sure that he gets wind of this.
I'm heading to Download next week to DJ.
Really?
Yeah. I'm downloading. I'm DJing 3 times at that fest.
Well, that's cool.
So maybe he'll be there.
Yeah. Look for him, and let's keep in touch.
A couple of people that want to join your cult.
Hell yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, okay, great."
He'll be like, "Cool.
You have a wife, right?"
I do.
There you go. You're like a package deal. Cults love that.
Yeah. It'll be super easy. She'll get us in the door, and I'll be the +1.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're thinking.
Yeah. See, I got it. I just needed a little cancer bat mental lubrication.
Yeah. We said about it.
Well, guys, so one of the last things here, I mean, how do we book you guys for birthday parties and quinceañeras? What's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
I mean, luckily, Cancer Bats, it's us who run everything. So cancerbats.com, the Instagram, the Facebook, you just holler at us.
Yeah, plug all the socials. So, I mean, it's all probably just at Cancer Bats, I'm assuming.
It's everything Cancer Bats we've been able to get.
Fuck yeah. Well, Jackson, what about your previous band? You want to plug them so we can check them out too?
Oh yeah, everyone.
Oh,
Diner Drugs.
Yeah, Diner Drugs is my East Coast band. I mean, we've done a couple. We did one European tour, and we've done a couple tours in Canada. But yeah, I think that band has another record coming out next year too. So
hell yeah,
check it out.
That band to LA. That band needs to go to the West Coast.
We should tour the States at some point. That would be really fun.
Yeah, come down to LA. It'd be great to have you guys down here.
I'll hit you up if we do.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, hot damn, everyone. That was Liam and Jackson from fucking Cancer Bats. Guys, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Yeah.
This was awesome. It was my first interview 3-way, as it were. So thank you for doing that for me.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Thanks for having us on. That was
yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure I will see you guys out there on the road again at some point, hopefully soon.
Hell yeah.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned for more strange and unusual tales from tour. Thanks for listening to the Hesh Files. We'll catch you on the flip side.
There we go. We did it.
That's it. We did it.